first. The Seattle Seahawks go to Arizona and win 23-20.
You know what, Arizona? Damn. I really wanted them. I almost picked them to win that game just because I wanted to pick an upset. I was like, nah, Seattle's got it. They're the best team in the NFC West probably right now. Maybe behind the Rams, but we'll see when that time comes. But yeah, I guess Arizona they need to make some changes at quarterback, bro. Kyler's not it, and he had a good finish to that game, but that's not enough. That's not. They've had opportunities. The offensive line sucks. Their play calling is absolutely trash. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a good wide receiver. I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to stand by that. He's a good wide receiver. He may not be top 10, but he's definitely a top 15, top 20 wide receiver. Find ways to get that
ball on trees either.
Yeah, and find a way to get that man the ball, and that might mean by getting rid of Kyler, moving on from Kyler. It's just, but maybe build the line. I think move on from Kyler. I don't think that him and Kyler have a good relationship personally. So, yeah. So they fall to Seattle in a hard fought game. The right team won. That's all that matters. The right team won. So shout out to Arizona for fighting, I guess, but it shouldn't even been that close.
So the early morning game, 6:30 in the morning our time, the Steelers beat the Vikings 24-21. This game was a game where I thought Carson Wentz was going to be able to keep it going. You know, you beat the Bengals. The defense plays phenomenal. Isaiah Rodgers, it broke my heart, man. 2 pick sixes, blocking punts, blocking kicks. Isaiah Rodgers is all over the place. He went from not playing for us to being on DPOYs, to having odds to win DPOY. Is Aaron Rodgers back? I mean, DK Metcalf looked good. Kenneth Gainwell. Oh, my brother. It hurt. It hurted. It hurted. I don't care when DeAndre Swift does something, but Kenneth Gainwell has been there his whole career, and he just went over the bridge. So to see him playing that way, Jalen Ramsey has completely turned around his career. He went to Miami. They thought he fell off, but now he's back, and he's making plays. He's faking a hammy injury. Then he actually hurt his hammy. So they got a lot going on in Pittsburgh, but Mike Tomlin is Aaron Rodgers was what Mike Tomlin needed. They needed a quarterback. They lost a game earlier in the year, just messing up little things right there, here and there. But this is the time for the Steelers to really put a grip on this division. The Bengals suck. The Browns stink. The Ravens stink. Is it time for the Steelers to not go 8-9, 9-8? Are we going to see an 11-12 win season? Are we going to see a playoff win for the first time in over a decade? The Steelers are serious, and it's time for us to be put on notice. Cass, I told you I was going to show you love. The one person out of 4 to choose the Jacksonville Jaguars to go on the road and beat the San Francisco 49ers, I'm talking to him, and his name is Cass Johnson. What made you feel so confident to choose the Jags?
So first off, I'll just say this was 100% just a gamble. Okay, there was no confidence.
I love the honesty. I would have came out and said, "I knew it."
It was a gamble. But looking at the weekly slate for the games, I was like, okay. What I do when I do my predictions is I look at the slate. I go, let's start off. Where is there a potential upset? And that was one of the ones where it was a potential upset. I'm like, there's a good chance for the Jags to go in there while the Texans are weak. Well, Indianapolis, who is looking good right now, but I think that we all know Indianapolis is not going to finish the season as strong as they start. We'll see. They look damn good. Almost for 4-0. But I was like, they have a squad. ETN somehow, some way revitalized his career. Trevor's Trevor. It is what it is. But Travis Hunter every week, he's showing signs where it's like, okay, hold up, brother. It's there.
Colorado Travis is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm like, hold up. You kind of a spaz out there, dog. When he be making plays, it's like, oh yeah, you are aggressive. I bet he was a badass kid. He got a lot of whoopings when he was a kid, bro, because that boy's aggressive. Obviously you got Brian Thomas Jr. over there. And just the Niners are a beatable team right now. They're injured. You got Ricky Pearsall over there. Okay. You got what's his name? Jawan Jennings, he's a little banged up. pretty much all you got to do is contain CMC, and I don't think that the Niners are going to be good. I think the Niners are only as good as free as CMC gets. So I was like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is just one of those games where they're going to go out there and put themselves in a really good position in their division to win. And I just felt like the Niners were vulnerable, and so I picked the Jags. So there was no, like I said, it was a gamble. I didn't think that the Jags were just like better and they were going to go in there and handle business. No, but I was like, the Jags can win this game. I think the Jags will win this game. That's it.
The Giants beat the Chargers, 3-0 Chargers, 18-21, 21-18. We talked about it. Turnovers make games, and Justin Herbert had 2 bad ones. Jackson Dart revamped this offense. You're seeing quarterback draws, which you couldn't do that with Russell Wilson. So he's added things to this offense. Cam Scatterby was playing great. He's a bell cow back. When I mean bell cow, I mean he's running the ball 25-plus times a night. That's CMC type volume. RIP to yet another Achilles and ACL at MetLife Stadium. Since 2020, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, Jabril Peppers, Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, Kyle Fuller, Aaron Rodgers, and now Malik Neighbors. We already expected them to not win a lot of games, but with this now, I think Malik Neighbors going down in a game where they won possibly saved Brian Daboll's career, his job. Because, look, man, I got Darius Slayton, I got Wan'Dale Robinson, I got a bunch of young guys out here, and I got a rookie quarterback. We're going to go out here, we're going to be competitive, and sell tickets. Jackson Dart gives hope. That's what rookie quarterbacks do. They bring hope to the organization because they were bad for so long. You get a high pick like this. You think about the Eli Mannings of the world that they've had come in there and be successful. Now you get to pre Jackson Dart in there. As an Eagles fan, I'm excited to see what Jackson Dart's going to do. Unfortunately, his next few games are hard. I don't know who they play next, but then they play the Eagles, somebody else in the Eagles again. So for the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're really going to see what Jackson Dart is about. But Chargers, are they pretenders? Joe Alt goes down, so they're kind of crumbling. They've had Rashawn Slater go down and now Joe Alt. The Quentin Johnson revival, I thought it was a fluke. I remember him dropping touchdowns and screaming at himself on the sideline, but now he's showing that he was a top first-round pick for a reason. So, Cass, we talked about the horrible AFC South, so I'm going to give you this quick game, I believe. The Texans beat the Titans 26-0.
Titans stink. that's it. I'm surprised that it was that big of a beatdown, but that was a game where I'm like, come on, Houston, you can't lose this one, brother. Yeah, you guys suck too, but you guys, you got the better coach. You got guys on defense that can rattle. What's his name? Cam Ward. Take care of the ball. Play just competent football on offense, and your defense is gonna do the rest, and that's exactly what they did. It didn't take much to win that game, and Tennessee had no answer. So it's just one of those cases where you got a game that a bad team kind of puts it to a really shitty team, and that end result was, like I said, a little bit more than what I thought it'd be. But I would have probably picked Houston to win by at least 10.
Easy.
So, yeah.
Next game, the Atlanta Falcons beat the Commanders 34-27. The Commanders have not looked like the team that went to NFC Championship. Jaden Daniels is out. The guy you just paid, Terry McLaurin, is out. So it's the Marcus Mariota show. I'm going to sit here and talk about the Falcons because week 1, they looked really good against the Buccaneers. And we hold the Bucs to a high standard. But then you play the Panthers and you don't score a single point and you look like shit. So to come back after a performance like that and beat a Commanders team that, yes, went to the NFC Championship, their guys might be down, but they are still a team that wins the NFC Championship. They still are building a winning culture. Michael Penix, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Bijan Robinson, 17 carries for 75 yards, on top of catching 4 passes for 106 yards. Drake London, 8 catches for 110 yards. And then Kyle Pitts Sr., I've been telling y'all since he added the senior, whatever he did in the past don't matter. This is a new man. It's Kyle Pitts Sr., goddammit. He's good. Kyle Pitts stinks. Kyle Pitts Sr. is good. 5 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. This is what we expected with this offense. You spent these 4 years being bad to get guys like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. We thought Kirk Cousins was going to be that quarterback to bring it out of them, but it's Michael Penix. And the Commanders, I've been hearing people in my DM saying, Debo's back. You say he was fat. You're 2-2. Terry McLaurin's not there. The moment Terry McLaurin comes there, he's going to go back to being a wide receiver too. So Debo puts no fear in my heart as an Eagles fan. Cast. The Buffalo Bills survive a scare and beat the Saints 31-19.
And just like the last game I talked about, where I kind of not the last game, but the Jacksonville Jaguars game, where I'm like, I just feel like the Jags can beat, the Niners. I didn't think the Saints could beat the Bills, but I'm like, that spread was like 14.5 points. I'm like, yep, that's one of them ones. I go, this is gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close game. Yeah, just another game where it's like, what do you want to say about it? Really, like this is the NFL. This is going to happen every week to one team. There will be a team that has no business either beating or keeping it close against an opponent that is probably a Super Bowl contender. And I actually was watching this game at the bar, and there was a Saints fan there, and this dude was on the edge of his seat, like rubbing his hands together, like, we're gonna win this game. This is the one. And I'm just like, dog, act like you know the NFL. Okay. Act like you know what goes on in the NFL. You think that they're gonna have Josh Allen lose against the Saints? The poster boy for the NFL right now, the guy that everybody loves, the quote unquote
MVP,
the MVP, best quarterback in the league, right? No, that's not what's gonna happen. Okay. Now, I give them some credit, man. Like, Rattler was fighting. He was fighting. But yeah, that game, they were never gonna win that game. That was kudos for keeping it close, but they were never gonna win that game.
So moving on to the next game, the Rams beat the Colts 27-20. To all my Colts fans out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you guys have YNs on your team that drop the ball before they go into the end zone. I'm sorry that same YN on a touchdown got a holding penalty and brought it back. That's 2 points. That's 2 touchdowns on the board. In the AFC South, where it's you guys and nobody, to lose like that, I'd cry. I'd cry myself to sleep. You had the Rams down, and you're dropping the ball, and then he's diving for the ball, trying to get it back. And it's just like, brother, Adonai Mitchell, this is on you. Yes, Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. This game was won. They score that touchdown. They get that second touchdown. They're up 14 points. It's the Jonathan Taylor show. But God damn it, Puka Nacua, he's on one. Next year when we do our top 10 receivers, he might be 5 for 4. He's making a debate. He is coming out here and killing it. Devontae Adams is showing that he still has pep in his step. We thought this is what we were going to see with Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams last year, but it just goes to show how good Puka Nacua is. Matthew Stafford still got it. Once Kyron Williams figures out how to hold on to the football, the Rams will be very good. Bouncing back after that Philadelphia loss just goes to show how good this team really is. And Cass, the Raiders, Ashton Jeanty finally shows up. What were your thoughts on Ashton Jeanty's breakout performance and the Raiders losing to the Bears 25-24 on yet another blocked kick?
I picked the Bears to win. I had to, but I don't know, man. That was I don't know. I don't know. It's just one man show, bro. It was cool to watch. I'm glad that he had that performance. He's on my fantasy team.
Same. I loved it. I was there. I watched every snap.
Yeah. So
the ball away. I said perfect. You just keep giving Jeanty the ball.
Yeah, it was. I think as an NFL fan, that was good to see. You got a guy that we all, let's be honest, we're all kind of rooting for. He was fun to watch in college at Boise State, and he goes to Las Vegas, and mind you, I forgot about this. Very important. Local kid got some tick after the Raiders cornerback went down. Darian Porter got out there and got some time. He went to Iowa State. Obviously, I live here in Iowa, but he went to high school at Bettendorf, which is rival school with at the school that I coach at. But I met the kid, very, very nice kid. I can only say great things about him. I haven't talked to him for years since he went off to college, but yeah, he got out there, and I'm like, and they mentioned him on the TV. I'm like, yes. They go, this is the time where you can take advantage of the young corner here, Darian Porter or something like that. I'm like, you know what I said? I stood up. I'm like,
let's go.
Throw it to my guy, bro. Throw it his way. See what he does. That man runs a 46.99 400-meter dash. If you don't know shit about track and field, let me tell you something. You want a 46? You want a 46? That ain't football speed. That's fast. Okay, that's fast. So I'm like, yeah, that was cool to see. But the Bears. I don't know, man. That was a pretty fun game to watch. I'll just say that it was a fun game to watch. I can't really say anything bad about either team. I mean, Caleb didn't look too hot, but that's Caleb though. He's gonna have his games where he's the flashes are there, but more often than not, he's gonna do Caleb things. So, shout out to Chicago for winning a very winnable game, I guess. I mean, I really want the Raiders to be so good, so bad, because I like a good underdog story. I do. I like. You got Geno Smith there, okay? You got the kid Ashton Genty. You got Jacoby Myers, who, he's a good receiver. But it's like, you look at the Raiders from a while back, they were supposed to be good a long time ago. I mean, they had Amari Cooper at one point. They had Devontae Adams. They had Josh Jacobs. They had Henry Ruggs. It's like they had Darren Waller. It's like, bro, like they supposed to be nice. They're supposed to be real nice for a couple years, but they just not Aiden Hutchinson, but Max Crosby. It's like, but they just didn't have the coaching. They've never really had the complete team, but they were supposed to have some pretty solid offenses for a handful of years, and they just never did. So still kind of low key rooting for the Raiders. My cousin, he's a big Raiders fan, so I kind of just root. I mean, they're in the AFC West. They don't have no affiliation with the Eagles. We see them once every shit. Who knows how many years?
We'll see this year.
Yeah. Well, last time we saw him was when Allegiant Stadium first opened.
And I was there. We got
blasted. Yep. But I like the Raiders, man, and I hope that they kind of figure it out and they ruffle some feathers in that division, which looks like it's going to be pretty competitive with the Chargers making a surge forward. So,
well, that will do it for our Week 4 NFL recap.